failed bomb plot in Times Square, a group of Muslim Americans now speaking out to denounce terror and extremism. At an upcoming press conference this morning, they're going to continue to send a message of peace and patriotism, insisting that Muslim Americans unite in loyalty to their country. Dr. Fahim Yunus leading this youth effort, and he's the national president of Ahmadiyya Muslim Community, USA's Youth Association. Good morning to you, Doctor.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
So last week we had the pleasure of interviewing another gentleman from your community who took the first step and said, look, Muslims must unite, Muslim Americans must unite in speaking out against terrorism in the United States. Now your effort is to attract the youth.
Absolutely. I think what we're trying to say is that over the past decade, we've heard a lot about condemning terrorism, which is absolutely right. We all agree that Islam does not condone terrorism. We, at this stage, are trying to take it a step forward. What we mean is that Islam demands loyalty to the country that you live in. And we must talk about that loyalty to the country that we live in. And that's a higher level of principle.
Because you are as concerned as so many other Americans are that we're watching our own citizens, some Muslim Americans, becoming radicalized.
Absolutely, and that's the reason why we're talking about it now, because of the recent trend that you've seen. If you look at it, Gallup in 2006 had a poll that 51% of the Americans thought that Muslims were not patriotic. And imagine after these recent bombings and these attempts, I think we're very concerned. And what we are also seeing, that there is some confusion about that out there. We're not hearing that message as loud and clear as it should be, that loyalty to one's country is an Islamic tenet. It's a part of Muslim faith.
That's very interesting, because I had not heard it before. Now, many of the Muslims you say who are being radicalized are having an identity conflict. What do you mean by that?
I basically, very simply, I can say that you should not have a conflict between your Pledge of Allegiance and between your pledge to Holy Quran and Islam. They should both marry together. Those concepts should not cause any conflict in your mind, and I think that conflict does exist in the youth's mind to some degree.
Why are not more Muslim communities and groups coming out and speaking as you are?
I'm pretty sure most Muslims are peace-loving, nice people, and that's what our effort is. We want everyone to join with us. We want that movement. We're leading that movement. That let's come join and make sure that America knows where our loyalty is when it comes to national security, when it comes to issues like safety of our citizens. And we hope that this will make that trend and help other communities to come join us.
Because it must be an uncomfortable situation to be in for many Muslim Americans to know that others are looking at them with suspicion and stereotype.
But that's what makes America beautiful, that I have that freedom of expression, that we can have this dialogue, and silence causes ambiguity. And that's what we're calling on others. Let's not remain quiet about it. Let's declare very openly. I don't wear a lapel pin every day, but that patriotism is in my heart every day. Some days I choose to wear a pin. But we need to make those public statements for everyone to understand where we are on these issues.
And you will do that today at 11 a.m. with a press conference.
Absolutely.
Dr. Fahim Yunus, great speaking with you this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
Senator John Kerry unveiled